G'day, mate. What's your name?
My name's Luke Heggie.
And what do you do, Luke?
I'm a stand-up comedian, an all-round top bloke.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Crowdworkcast. My name's Andrew Barnett. Thank you so much for joining me. My guest this week is none other than Luke Heggie. Now, Luke is a very, very funny comedian. He was good enough to, catch a train and pedal his push bike all the way out to my place. So I really appreciate him doing that. If you're going to thoroughly enjoy this episode, but if you want to follow Luke, he is Heggie Luke on Instagram. Also, if you Google his name, you'll find his YouTube channel and that. He's got heaps of great content out there. If you're not familiar with his stand-up, I cannot recommend it highly enough. His stand-up is absolutely awesome. He's one of my absolute favourites to watch. His company's a little tedious, which you'll hear. No, he's a good bloke. Absolute champion. So give him a follow. Get around Luke. If you get a chance to go see him live, definitely do that. Likewise, if you'd like to see me live, you can find all my dates on my Instagram, which is Andrew Barnett Comedy. So I'd love to see you at a gig. Come up and say good day. If there's anyone you'd like to see on the podcast, please do just drop me a message and let me know. And other than that, like, subscribe, do all that sort of good stuff. But for now, that's all we need to do. This is my chat with Luke Heggie. I like that you added all-round top bloke.
Well, I've got to. There's so many dickheads doing it.
Yeah, so, there are. How long have you been doing stand-up now?
About the same as you, I believe. 13 odd years.
Yeah.
13 years, yeah.
Yeah. And it sort of started 2010.
2010, yes.
2010,
that's when I started, yeah.
I had one gig, I think, before 2010. It was in, November at the Mic in Hand, so I don't really count that.
How was it?
It went fine.
Yeah.
It went fine, which is probably why I did another one.
Yeah. I don't understand these pricks who go shit first time.
Yeah.
Then I think of quitting if I have two shit in a row. That's it.
Mate, I think of quitting if depending how shit it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think of quitting on a long drive to a fucking gig. These people don't think of quitting. It's not in there. They don't know what that means.
That does amaze me, the people, and I'm not going to name names, but the people that were especially around for
Let's
a long
name names.
time. But people that were around for a long time, especially when we were starting, that you'd see, because you'd just be at all those, you'd get as many open mics as you could, and people that had been going much longer than us.
Yeah.
And some of them are still going, but still just open micing and
It's crazy.
They
get out of the house types, I think.
Yeah.
I just got to get out of this house, or something's up. I mean, something's up with most of them, really. But that's up with them.
I don't. But there's easier ways to manufacture a social life than having to.
Yeah, you'd think so, but it is very welcoming, isn't it? Stand-up comedy. There's not many people. There's no one at the door. There should be. There's no one just standing there. Not you, mate. No, absolutely no way. There's no one's doing that.
Well, especially
so they
now,
just keep coming.
Especially now, there's all these sign-ups.
Yeah, fuck. There's these people. There's courses for people to learn how to not be a fucking coward in front of a microphone, and that spawns a new wave of comics coming and flooding the scene. And whatever. Good on you. Welcome everyone. Come all.
That seems earnest.
Yeah.
So you obviously you started as a grown up,
as an adult. Yeah.
Yeah. Why comedy?
No idea. I still don't know really. I don't know. I just thought I'd give it a go, like you, like everyone. Went well. Kept going. I don't know. I didn't touch a microphone till I was 35.
Bloody hell.
Fuck it or whatever.
Yeah.
What's the worst can happen? Shit myself first couple of times. I wasn't, not literally, but it was not easy.
You're one of these anomalies. I remember the first time I saw you was in that Raw state final.
Yeah.
New South Wales. And there was there's some guys that were in that are there's quite a few that are still going. I was in that, you were in that, Kappa.
Oh, yeah.
Crookshank. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Crookshank there.
I think Hing was in it as well.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a few that are still kicking around.
Yeah.
But your style hasn't changed a whole lot.
Not really. I mean, I couldn't do beyond about a year in. maybe a year and a half or so, I found you can't do one-liners for more than about 15 minutes tops. And that's if they're good.
Yeah.
People tune out. They're gone. Like, you can't really do them.
No, attention spans are too short. They're good for clips.
Good for clips. Yeah, good for a clip, mate.
Which,
What's
mate,
clips? Yeah.
You're all about the clips, aren't you, these days, mate?
It's all the social clips, yeah. That's what it is. The hustle.
The hustle. Did you, when you started, did you have any, like, appreciation or any sort of, would you have expected there's this much sort of bullshit outside just writing the jokes and delivering the jokes?
I had no idea about any of it. I had no idea about all the mentals involved. I had no idea about anything. I'd never seen a gig. Just did it.
So you weren't even going to stand up?
No, I'd never been.
So was your first gig Raw?
Yeah, it was that year of that sign up, fucking classic dickhead bucket lister sign up. That's me.
See, at least I'd done one gig before Raw. Maybe I remember doing a gig early on at the Laugh Garage too, which was on their open mic night, which I think was a Tuesday or whatever.
Yeah, right. I never got on there.
Yeah, really?
No.
Oh man, you
wasn't allowed on.
Really?
Not allowed on, but just never really managed to get on.
Oh wow. I didn't get on there regularly till later, but I had a really bad experience on their open mic where there was some MC who was like an American who was visiting. I think he went home, but he basically got up to MC, realised that nothing was settled. He just goes, "All right, well, we've got heaps of acts. I'll just bring your first act on."
That was you.
It was me, and so people were still getting seated.
Yeah,
it's like when you're brand new and I'm still at the stage where I think I have to write 5 new minutes every time I get up.
Yeah.
And then he did his, like, after that, once everyone was seated and everyone was going, then he did his sort of bit after me.
Brilliant.
It's like, oh,
really?
This is what it is.
There's this overriding paradigm of Americans being brilliant at stand-up comedy, and they've got a handful of good ones, don't worry. But by sort of, comparison, I reckon, like, proportionally, they are fucking... you forget how terrible 99+% of them are.
I've got a theory that in any given scene, there's a similar percentage of people who are good, similar percentage of people who are really...
fairly similar, yeah. Yep.
And it just depends on the size of the scene. So the reason that you go, there's so many good American
I think it's
comedians.
disproportionate, the love they get here, though, Australians, and Australian comedians in particular, embarrassingly, the Starfucker type ones are just beside themselves when an American comes here. They are got to be in the same room, kiss the ring, kneel at the altar.
But
it's incredible.
Name names. You do the podcast with Cody.
Oh, he's not that embarrassing. He knows them all. I'm sure he'd say he started comedy when he was a kid.
Yeah, I remember
when he was 18 or 20, he was travelling far on Greyhound buses to see these hero comedians. Yeah. So, I mean, great. It's study and stuff for a kid, but I'm talking grown adults now who have heroes. It's amazing.
Who have heroes.
Yeah.
You don't have a hero?
No. Imagine having a hero at our age, at my age. It's incredible.
It's all right to have a hero maybe that when you're a kid that's now long dead, or you know what I mean?
When you're a kid, you're talking?
Yeah. Or, no. Like it's all right to go, wow, my hero growing up was this bloke. Or,
right.
There's stuff I admire about
right.
certain dead people who achieved stuff.
But also galling in that is it's a field you're involved in, and you're immediately placing yourself underneath everyone. Not everyone, underneath a lot of people going, oh, that's my hero. There you go. Why don't you just work harder and do it? I don't know. Or don't run the same race. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. It'd be like, going, I want to run the 100 metres.
Yeah.
Oh, how quick's this bloke?
Yeah.
God, he's the best.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's amazing.
It's like,
they don't do that, do
they?
Don't
you want to beat him? Yeah. I don't, I see what you mean. I don't think that, I don't get the, like the guys that like, oh, so-and-so's coming out and booking tickets. And like, do you go out of your way to go see anyone? Like see live comedy?
No, I see enough live. I'm out 5-6 nights a week for over half the year, so I see heaps of live in the Australia. The Sydney scene's booming. There's some great acts and there's some great jokes and there's some great. I see, people who might not be that good with a great joke or something. That's enough for me. I love it.
Yeah, you're like, I'll have that.
Yeah. Get them killed and take their material.
Yeah.
I think that's a way better way for me to go about it. I don't have fucking time. You get a family. Imagine floating to your family. You get a night off once every couple of weeks. You go, I'm going out to see a stadium comedian, a little speck on the horizon, fucking American comedian, and try to get some tips.
That's my thing with it. Like, I've got comedians I really like. I watch their specials. I'll enjoy their stuff. But it's that same thing of like, it never occurred to me to buy a ticket because that could be a night that I'm probably supposed to be working.
Yeah. Or if it's an odd night off, you should really see your family.
Yeah, there is that too.
There's that. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really into that big comedy too. I don't really get into, like theatres and stadiums and what are they called now? Arenas. I don't see the attraction to that at all.
Do you reckon for your, like, how you approach it? What size of venue would you like? If I could say, you can sell you can sell out a venue. Just pick a size. You'll
maximum 500, and that's if it's a nice one.
Yeah,
like not a shit 500.
Because you just did the Enmore.
Yeah,
how many is that?
It's too big. It's like 1,500 or something. 1,600. It's big.
Yeah,
and it's nice. It's a nice theatre and everything. And people settle in, and it's like they're watching a movie though.
Yeah,
it's not right. I'd probably rather do, 8 nights in a 200 or something.
Well, you do have that. You do have that work. Everyone, that was the big chat out of Melbourne this year, was how many shows you did.
Yeah, it wasn't that hard. Like I was tired at the end, but so are people who work.
Yeah,
it's 2 hours a day instead of 1.
Yeah, and I explained to people it's because he's a tight ass. He doesn't want to pay room. He doesn't want to pay more expensive room.
Well,
for
I don't
room.
think forking out 25% off the fucking gross of your tickets is reasonable. For artists come last all the time anyway. You got to scrimp where you can, and I've got a good room in a good pub where people can come. So
that's the other thing. That was
I still paid for it.
I was joking about that, but that it actually is just a financial. It makes way more financial sense than paying 25% off, filling a bigger room, making less money. Because you didn't want to do the extra show.
Plus your shows should be pretty red hot by the end if you do all those shows. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it, still getting it right.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of that. It's fine.
So did you film that one in Newcastle recently?
Yeah, I did.
How'd that go?
A few little fucking hiccups actually, but I don't know. I only had one shot at it, and there were some fuck ups, like the sound, like the music got left on when I got to the mic, that sort of thing. You can edit around that, but I'm standing there like an arsehole for 20 seconds. Just going, turn the fucking thing off. I'm ready to talk. That sort of thing. Little bits like that. Air conditioning got turned off. That was the worst. I was sweating like a tennis player. It was so fucking hot. I've never been that hot ever. And I've been to Afghanistan. It was hot.
Far out.
And I've never sweat that much ever. And I had to stop. I had to go, what's happened? It wasn't this hot before. And they turned it on. Oh, thanks, fuckheads. Just ruined the first 10 minutes.
That's stuff that even if you're not filming, you wouldn't expect to have. Because that's just the basic. Okay, we've got a show. How long do we keep the air conditioning on for this show?
The whole
thing.
Time, yeah. There's 200 people sweating in here.
Yeah.
Turn the fucking thing on. I don't know. I'd like to bash who turned it off, but I've tried to stop thinking about that.
Where'd you film?
It was at the Gallipoli Club. It was pretty cool. It's just a pub, like a room above an RSL.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. I'm going to put it out. All my shit's just destined for YouTube anyway. It's not like people are beating down the door to put shit on streamers and that. So it'll end up there. But the first 10 minutes, I'm sweating. It looks gross, like a proper. And then I'm just wet the rest of the time.
Far out.
I didn't know. I would have stopped after 1 minute and started again if I knew.
Well, it's
nothing you can fucking do. I did get Cody to bring a towel out.
Oh, really?
I was dripping, like proper dripping.
That's insane.
And they turned it on, and immediately I could feel it. I went, oh, the air conditioning's on. Thanks, fuckheads. Like, unbelievable. But, that's the sort of thing you forget to have to tell people.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't.
But then I just did it because I thought Newcastle's cool. The audience is always pretty good. So, fuck, I just do it once, get it over with. But you need to film 2, really. Yeah. Because of that.
Because of the air conditioning.
Yeah, there's always something that'll happen.
That amazes me because you would do How many gigs do you reckon you do a year, and how many do you think the air conditioning turns off partway through the show?
That's the I mean, it was someone turned it off before I got on, so it had been off in the break between the previous show and mine. I think, I don't know. Someone must have been cold and just turned it off, because we did a live podcast earlier in the afternoon. It wasn't hot then, and then it was suddenly real hot. So that's the first time it's happened to me.
Yeah, I can't think of a time that's.
I remember Badron filming something at the store, and they turned the aircon off because it was too loud. The soundies went, "Oh, turn it off because of the sound." And I thought, what a mistake! You just see people just sitting there like this, just fanning their faces.
Well,
the
other
whole time.
thing, comedies, like you don't want people too warm, because then they get sleepy and the energy drops.
Oh, yeah,
That people don't
cold.
People don't think about that. The amount of the feel in the room is just the energy of people laughing.
Yeah.
You need that.
Yeah, no one really thinks that through, I don't think, unless you're doing it.
And you're not exactly the go into the crowd guy to chat about it.
Oh, I had to do something there. I had to stop and start again. And I'm going to have to leave it in that I was referencing it, because I'm like, I look like something wrong. I'm about to drop dead. That's terrible. And I got a joke on my show about fucking, cowards who drink water during their show.
Oh, you do?
Going, God, I need some water, man. This is like, it's like I'm performing in the desert.
Mate, it couldn't have got worse unless you sat down.
Yeah.
There's some, you know who it is. It's some water drinking
stool
comedian that sabotaged you. They've seen you somewhere
philosopher,
There's someone sent me after not long after I saw it, because I saw you at this, I'm assuming this show in Canberra this year at the festival, where you talk about that, and then literally the next day someone sent me a photo of someone on a stool in a 7-minute set.
Oh yeah,
at a
great.
show. And it was just
referencing that.
Yeah, not referencing your thing.
Oh,
they didn't even know.
Just
going, look at this. And I said, Heggie's got a bit on this. You'll love it. And then they've since seen your show and got back to me and gone, oh, my God. So I'll tell you off air.
Okay, can't
we're
wait.
talking about. But you can probably guess, I suppose. Guess in the YouTube comments.
All right.
Yeah. You got to get something for the algorithm, mate.
Yeah.
All right. So you so most of your stuff, is your YouTube pretty active, or?
No, not really. I've got 2 1-hour shows on there. I took off all the clips. I've turned off all the comments. I'm sick of fuckwits just telling me I'm a loser. It's free. It couldn't be more voluntary to find that. Fuck off. So I turned all that off and just got 2 1-hour shows on. Put another one up soon. I've got about 4 sitting on the shelf. I'll just put them up one by one every 6 months or something. I don't know. See what happens. It is bringing more people in, I think, because a lot of people watch YouTube comedy now. That's where we are, unfortunately, is putting shit up for free and begging people to come to your live shows.
That's
pathetic. But that's what we're at. Like, no one wants to pay for anything.
No.
The streamers are just flooded with actual shit, so no one's going to watch that anyway, even if you've got something on there. And in Australia, you kind of, if you film a special, you might get $5,000 from Channel 10 to put it on at midnight in regionals or something. And they own it for 5 years and they put it on 50 times. And
really?
Yeah.
So you've had those.
I've had that, yeah.
Yeah.
And
but they only throw you.
Oh yeah, man, didn't even cover costs. But I mean, that's where we are. Like, they go, if you said no, they just go, "I'll just get some other fuckhead." And I don't think I'd do that again either. I'd rather just put it on YouTube.
It's for the opportunity.
Yeah. It's the exposure.
Good exposure.
And people do watch it, but they're not necessarily the right people now who are watching TV. They're not right.
Yeah, there's
a few are. But no.
Someone was talking about that at a thing I was at recently. It's like, oh man, the crap that's on TV. I'm like, yeah, but the people still watching broadcast TV.
Yeah, that's what they want.
That's what they want. So
that's what they get.
People looking for something else are getting something else from streamers or wherever else.
Yeah.
So you don't have to.
So I mean, that's where it's all headed, and that's why the clip guys and the YouTube kids and all that are killing. They've just got their own little business going. Yeah, good on them.
Do you reckon that's what's going to eventually replace the festival model for because previously the festival model would be how people sort of broke a lot of the times.
Yeah, I think that's nearly gone. That I think it's tough for us, but I think it'd be even harder to start now.
Oh yeah,
because you go to festival. I know people who go to festivals 5-6 years in a row with a brand new show and just still have trouble some nights selling 2 tickets and shit. That's hard.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just got to love it and keep creating and see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, I do think it's more it's conglomerated, and eventually monopolies take over everything. There'll be someone pulling the strings with a stable of, the 20 most famous comedians in the world, and they're the only ones people go and see. It's nearly probably at that now.
Yeah, there are.
And we're all just fighting over scraps.
It's amazing how many big touring, like just this year, all of a sudden the calendar filled up with big, people doing big venues, and acts that I wouldn't have assumed would sell this many tickets in Australia. Like guys like, do you know Joe Coy out of the US?
No.
So I think he's LA based. A lot of his stand up. I've watched a bit of it because I heard him on a few different podcasts. He's funny, but like on a podcast. But it's a lot about growing up like as a Filipino with a Filipino mum and all that sort of stuff. But I think he did the one in at the old convention centre.
Yeah, okay.
Like that super theatre.
I mean, podcasting's changed the game for that too.
Yeah.
If you've been on fucking Toe Rogan or something, you'd probably come and sell a stadium here. So man, there's so many people listening to that shit, and young people. That's how they get their information.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, as well as who to go see. So they go and see them, which is fine, but also it's a long many decades of Australian television putting up, some good stuff, but a lot of actual shit. Now Australians turn on it and go, "Well, I fucking hate Australian comedy." You go, "Who do you know in there?" And they know 2 acts from 30 years ago. They don't know any new ones. So they're not going to discover us, mate.
Mate, that's actually something. I was chatting to the guys in when I was in New Zealand last week. And I was at the Classic with a couple of guys, and everyone pretty much there was working on some sort of local TV.
Oh man, Kiwis, when they turn 18, they get their own TV show. I've never met one who hasn't.
Yeah, they all get work, and I'm like this, and it's just all different shows. I'm like, there's so much local content, and they're like, yeah, we don't understand why it's not like that in Australia, and then we get that here, and then Kiwis get a real leg up in Australia too. I'm like, yeah. We noticed.
I couldn't love them more.
Oh, mate, it is. It's that, and that I think that is a problem. Like, I don't know how they address that Australian content stuff, but Australians are at the point where, also too, I think Kiwi audiences like Kiwi content.
Oh,
whereas Australians
hate Australians. Yeah, they really hate them. For a nation that is so mad about and so proud of their sporting accomplishments. I'm talking fat dudes sitting on a recliner going, "We're the best in the world at sport."
Yeah.
They fucking hate the arts. Actively hate and vocally really fucking hate art and artists and anyone who tries something. They fucking hate it, unless you're running.
Like, I remember years ago I saw, do you remember the movie Idiot Box? Do you ever catch that?
Yeah.
It was quite funny and it was good. And I really enjoyed it. But I said to my mates, at school, when I saw it, I said, "Oh, I saw this great movie, Idiot Box. You got to check it out." Like, "Oh yeah, what's it about?" I said, "It's an Australian film." Like, nah,
yeah.
Nah, not watching.
Not having it.
Australian, nah, no good.
I mean, it's a long-standing thing, and it's a cliche and everything, but it's very much there.
But that's even the Kiwis said to me when they were talking about. Hey, it seems to be every TV show in Australia has the same 8 people in it. I'm like, yep.
They
be
do.
Good to be in that. Good to be in that.
Yeah,
group,
I mean, you're not going to give up your job if you're one of them.
No.
But it'd be nice to. I mean, having said that, I've had a bit of TV work lately. It's been quite good.
Yeah, my brother actually sent me one of your clips from The Weekly.
Yeah, that's been good actually.
So is that they seem to be mostly based on a lot of your old stand-up bits anyway?
Yep.
So is
that
just
sort of repurposed stand-up for sketches? It's been good, and nicely, like an old white straight bloke getting a fucking go has been, funnily enough, I never gunned for it or anything. It's just, but they did say to me, "Look, we've got all this diversity, but there's no real diversity of opinion."
Yeah.
And I went, "Oh, that's a good point," but also that kind of paints me as an old fucking conservative. I'm nothing like that.
No,
it's just, but yeah, you get like this. We've got all this good, cool left stuff. Let's get a bigot in.
Yeah,
let's get a
right winger.
Yeah, and it's that, you get painted as that just because you look or sound like this.
You couldn't be further from that.
No,
I was actually having that conversation with another comedian today about that thing where it's like actually within general society, within blokes our age, we're lefties.
Yeah,
but then you move into those circles. Look at these conservative
Oh,
old blokes.
yeah, they think you're a fucking Nazi or something.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, I've always been socially minded, and this is crazy to get called out because you say something wrong or something. Fuck. Get out in the real world, see what happens. It's very, very different.
Mate, I was trying to work on that, to work on a bit about that. Like when we were kids, remember that was the thing everyone would say, mate, wait till you're out in the real world.
Yeah.
You none of this carry on in the real. Turns out now, I don't think that applies as much with some of these
Not
things.
really. Yeah.
Like, mate, you can't just have a day off because you don't feel like going to work.
You fucking can.
Yeah, turns out you can.
Yeah. Do what you want.
Yeah.
Well, that's happening in building sites now too. That
Oh,
sort of
really?
thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't work on them anymore, but yeah, we're starting to creep in.
Wow.
The old personal days and stuff. What?
Jeez, I would never.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's still old school ones there, but yeah, it's not. It's different. It's different.
Man, it's interesting that I wouldn't have expected it to hit the.
Yeah, I mean, I every generation thinks the next one are pussies.
Yeah.
And I do too, and I love it mostly for comedy purposes to rip in.
Yeah.
Because they are pussies.
Yeah.
But it's a big gap between me and a 20-year-old now. Like, it's a bigger gap than it should be because of internet and mollycoddling and stuff and whatever. But, I'm not saying we should bash them or anything.
No.
But fuck, it'd be fun. But no, it's just sort of, I don't know. There's a lot of things that have conspired in that time period to make it a bigger generation gap than I think would have happened in the last couple of 100 years.
I think that's the other side of that is that interests me is the people our age who are more left-minded, assuming that there's not acknowledging that change has happened. All this change you wanted, has actually happened, and it's going to be all right with the younger generation. Just because you look around and the older people haven't decided that.
Yeah,
but these young, like I remember talking to someone about, like, they made some comment about ignorant rugby league players. They probably wouldn't like. It was something to do with homophobia or something. And I said, listen, these guys, they're all in their early 20s. They've grown up in a world where their whole lives this has been socially acceptable. They're not
homophobic people too,
Yeah. But that's the thing. They're not like. There was a guy in the NRL who there was a video come out where he'd was in a gay porn essentially.
Yeah.
And nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was just came and went like it was just another sex tape. No players have ostracised him, nothing. Like, it's just what it was.
Yeah. But there is in the comedy industry and the sort of the ignorance of the people who claim everyone's ignorant is incredible with just painting everyone with the same brush, going, builders, bunch of bigots.
Yeah.
Rugby league players, all homophobics, dumb. Yeah, fuck, hang on. This is the sort of thing you rail against. Just take it easy.
Exactly. And it's like anything.
Having said that, I make some jokes about all those things. So I don't give a shit,
do I.
But like, it's not really.
There's a difference for doing it for comedic purpose. You have to you have to use generalizations.
For sure. Love them.
But the people who, the irony or the hypocrisy is the people saying you can't generalise anyone are the ones generalising the people that you all generalise people.
Yeah.
What? No. You're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Stupid. So the older I get, I think the more anyone that's got that can identify an ideology that they subscribe to, you've lost me. Like I'm just like, no, that's just lazy thinking.
For sure. I mean, where it relates to comedy is you hope that people, like irony's for hanging on by a thread and subversion and misdirection, same. But, I mean, I've been really lucky to garner a bigger audience in the last couple of years. So when they come, I like to think most of them know what they're getting. And I don't really mean it. Like, but I also don't want to have to fucking explain that.
Yeah.
I really hate that. Having to go, I'm just joking, everyone. Because I can't fucking stand that.
That becomes not funny.
Yeah, absolutely. But some people actually, I mean, I get a lot more correspondence than I used to.
Oh, really?
And some people are actually telling you that you should, laugh or tell everyone that you don't mean it and stuff. So, well, fucking, if you don't get it, fuck off. I don't know. Like, I don't understand. There's such a small proportion of people who go to live stand-up comedy. So it'd be 1% of our population. We're all fighting over that, and we're somehow at the coalface of opinions and how we should come across. Fuck off.
Also, if you're going to a comedy night to get your opinion,
your opinion's validated, or to form them, or if you're so fucking pig-headed, you think everyone else is so dumb, they're going to listen to the guy on stage and take that on board, and they're going to go home and cut their cat's legs off or whatever you've talked about.
Yeah.
So fuck you.
Good bit, by the way.
You got some proper ego problems if you think that.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
I don't know. I think it's earnestness.
Oh, yeah.
It just
the worst.
That's what, to me, sometimes, like, that earnestness, ridiculous, like, because yours is ridiculously earnest in terms of you don't wink to the audience that you're not serious. Like, so there's that big, but it's so clear, like, it's so clearly ridiculous. Like, you take it to a ridiculous
You say
point.
that, but fuck, some people don't. Like, some people that take everything literally. Or, I mean, it is double-edged, though. If you're not going to wink and laugh and stuff, then you can take the good with the bad, including some people coming up and going, good on you, mate. I agree with all of that. I fucking hate women too, or whatever they do. You go, whoa, hang on, man.
That amazes me when you get that person who's taken the complete wrong thing out of your... I remember I did a gig up in the Blue Mountains for Amanda Gray late last year, and half the audience were like anti-vaxxers, all those guys.
Big up
and
there.
Then the other half of the audience, there was some doctors and some like more tourists, I suppose. I don't know who they were, but both sides come up to me when I did my COVID stuff. Like, yeah, man, like, way to give it to those anti-vaxxers. Oh, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
And then the anti-vaxxers come up, mate, way to speak the truth about the whole COVID situation.
Yeah, take out that. So how did you get back?
Neither of... I didn't actually...
Yeah.
You're just hearing what you want to hear.
Well, those clips from the weekly I've been doing, they get a bit of traction online. It's not mine, it's ABC's, but I'm in it. Like, I'm tagged and stuff. So you see, like, I don't go out of my way often, but sometimes I will just go, let's see. And they'll be straight into, like, 5 comments down, it's all anti-vax. Crazy.
Really?
You go, well, the thing wasn't even about that.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with it.
That amazes me how quickly things get off topic.
It's great.
Man, when we'd post a bunch of our old cricket show stuff, and some of those comments, and I've turned it all off because I used to just pop up on my phone just randomly. And it'd be stuff that'd been up for 6 months, and all of a sudden there's, you just get, classic Pakistani cheats. Yeah, you would say that, you Bangladesh. Like, just people arguing. I'm like, overseas. I'm like, this has got nothing to do with anything I posted.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it gets full on in the comments. It's like,
it just shows how, like, the internet hasn't brought us together. It's done the opposite. And people are just living here, like, in their own little front, just looking to get something back to their world.
Yeah.
Fucking losers. Just watch it, don't like it, whatever.
Do you listen, like, because I know you've got a podcast.
Yeah.
You've got a YouTube. Do you listen to any podcasts, or do you?
I don't have much time. I listen to Woodland and Mick's podcast, and if I get messages about something I've said, I'll have a flick through ours. I go, fuck, actually, that's a bit on the nose. But then it is a podcast. It's very, very voluntary to listen to.
Yes.
Like, it couldn't be harder to find our podcast or yours or anyone's. Like, it's, it's not radio.
No.
It's not in the morning in front of your kids on the way to school.
Yeah.
In a way, fuck off.
It's a real choice.
You try talking an hour or two a week and see if you don't say something crook at some stage. Of course.
Yeah.
You're going to. Like, that's how it works. But, and that's, I mean, again.
Especially if you're trying to get a laugh out of it. Especially when it's just you and one other person. And the only audience you got's the other bloke. And
it's so fucking hard. The things I say off air are disgraceful. And you too. And you just...
Don't drag me into your bullshit.
I'll start quoting you, mate, if you like. But yeah, you just sort of... I don't know. It's I don't really have the time for podcasts. I don't listen much. I used to listen to a bit of crime, but I've gone off that. And I'm writing one every week. That takes a lot of time. And stand-up takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And all the other shit I've got on.
And then, having a family and doing all the life shit.
Yeah, so I don't have headphones in my ears all the time. I try not to do that too much. You got to blank out at some stage. Start thinking of stuff.
So do you like I don't get I don't understand who watches YouTube like as their
podcasts,
TV
or
podcasts in general.
Yeah.
But
what, they're watching this on YouTube? That's what you mean?
People do.
Yeah. It's mad.
Not this one as much,
Obviously.
but but like people that
people watch like Joe Rogan and shit on YouTube.
On YouTube.
It's mad.
I don't. Yeah,
Slippery slope when they started filming radio.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't even be ugly anymore on
No.
radio.
Well,
you can't pick your nose. You can't do anything.
You look at any billboard for breakfast radio, FM breakfast radio. They're not. It's not.
No, they're not minging.
Ugly Phil.
No.
Anymore,
Ugly Phil. That was a radio. Is that a radio guy?
Yeah, Ugly Phil.
Great.
Just had
Probably wasn't even that ugly. I don't even know what he looks like.
Just
normal.
a bald bloke, I think.
Yeah, brilliant.
But back when you could ugly shame.
Well, that was their refuge, wasn't it?
Mm.
Well, if you want to get into showbiz, you're ugly. Radio, mate.
That's
where you go.
Yeah.
They haven't even got that anymore.
No.
Fuck, we hate the uglies. We just
the uggos.
That's how much we hate them. Just take all their jobs.
Mate. But that's the other thing too is half the breakfast radios is like people that went on a reality TV show now.
Yeah.
Which is,
it's pretty mad. I could think of nothing worse though
than being on a reality show or doing breakfast radio.
Either, but radio. I mean,
see, I don't mind it. I do a bit at SEN and.
Yeah, that's a spot. That's not an everyday occurrence, though, is it?
Over summer we were doing Drive.
Oh right.
Yeah, which was in some ways that's almost easier just because you're doing it because you're across all the stories just because you're talking about everything every day.
But are you doing opinions and stuff? What are you doing about it?
Not me.
I do. Just announce songs and shit.
No, not songs. It's sports talk, that format.
Oh, okay.
Mostly.
Yeah.
So I'd sort of make fun. One of the things I loved we had to cross to the tennis every day because when the Australian Open was on, and there was a guy, Brett Phillips was the guy, but he'd be in like one of those, so you could hear the squeak of the sneakers and everything. So
he's behind the soundproof glass yelling.
So you could hear it all going on, and he'd be there sort of, yeah, boys, it's been a great, like sort of that low whistle.
Right.
So it felt really cool. But our challenge was we'd see how long we could go talking to him before we talked about tennis.
Yeah.
So, and then I remember I threw him one
and then you just cut him off. Yeah, thanks, mate. That's enough.
Oh,
mate.
that's all the time we got, Brett.
We're gonna have to leave you there, mate.
Mate, well, quarterfinals time, I said to him, he's talking about something because he's one of these blokes. You could just throw him one question, he'd just go, which is great. That's what you want at that stage of the 3 hours of just talking.
Yeah.
But I said to him, we were in the quarterfinals, and I said, "Oh, how are the QFs going down there in Melbourne?" And he didn't join the dots. I was talking quarterfinals.
What did he think?
Did
he think?
I think he thought something was.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
The bloody going off him, mate.
Yeah.
So it's like they're multiplying against the odds.
So I said, I said quarterfinals, Brett. Oh yes, yeah, Barney.
Yeah, right. Great.
So but that was fun. But it is like, I don't know, having done that and a bit of television. In some ways, at the moment, I'm enjoying that more than the like TV's all writing. Shooting,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas this is just
showing up,
keep
really
going. Well, there's prep, but it's not. It's like sometimes you just got to keep talking.
Yeah, okay.
And talk shit for a bit.
Yeah,
so.
It's hard. I don't like that. I mean, you're much better at it, but I just sort of, I don't know, day in, day out, breakfast radio, one of my nightmares.
Breakfast would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
I could do, Drive was the, and that said, if someone wants to pay us a lot of money to do a Heggie and Barnett breakfast show.
Unfortunately, that's the fucking reward for getting to a certain stage of stand-up in Australia is, all right, you don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
You've done your time. Get the fuck out and go and earn some actual money, which is gross because that's how little stand-up's respected, really. But I don't know. It's Cody does it. He does a great job of it, but it takes time off your stand-up. He can't get out as much.
Well, he's got a young family too.
Yeah.
So young family, you're up at 4 a.m. and it just doesn't. That's where I reckon.
If I didn't have a radio job, but you and I both worked and did stand-up. You can do it.
Yeah.
But it nearly kills you. You got to be young. You got to get off the piss.
And there needs to be a feeling that at some point it's not going to be that.
Yeah. Man, I spent over a decade just going to building sites every morning and gigging. As the years went on, it got worse because I was getting older, the work's getting harder, and I'm getting more gigs. It's fucking hard.
And as the gigs go on, you're going later in the gigs.
Yeah, you're on later. Well, yeah, all those Melbourne ones seem to just demand going headline first, which I wouldn't think to do. So, you know, just do it last, mate. That's
Yeah.
you know, then go get 6 hours instead of 8 hours sleep. Grow up. Like, I don't know, sort it out.
Yeah, that's the that is a thing that, like, I think the headline's supposed to be at the end.
Yeah,
because that's what they're
they
waiting
reverse
for.
it down there. But they have a very, very strong slant towards celebrity down there in their stand-up. They fucking love celebrities, TV personalities. Whereas I think Sydney's more a good stand-up night.
Yeah,
Is more the order. Where sometimes, like, often you won't even get advertised who's on at, like, the store and stuff. Often you won't know who's on. You just go, I'll go and have a good night, see what's on.
yeah, and it doesn't.
So if you're headlining, you go last.
In the end, it doesn't really matter. Like, you go to the store, you know, it's going to be a bunch of people who there's going to be a range of different things.
Yeah.
They'll talk about, you know, hopefully it won't be all samey,
Potluck, isn't it?
and you know, it should be fine. Trust the booker to have vetted someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get the feeling down there, because there's been so much television made down there too. Like,
Yeah.
a TV head on a poster is a big deal to them.
But that's
But I don't
also,
think it is. I think they could get rid of that and it'd be fine.
I think that's
then I don't
also
run it.
where all the like half the TV people are, because of that.
Yeah.
For a long time in Australia, this idea, and even the general public, because that's where stuff gets made, and that's where the big
where Ramsay
festival
Street
was.
is.
That's where Ramsay Street is that comedy is, like, if you're gonna
Exclusively
do
a
comedy,
Melbourne thing.
yeah, you've got to go to Melbourne.
I think the scene here is healthier.
Yeah,
No.
I think the scene here is really good at the moment. I think the Brisbane scene, seems to produce really good
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah.
And like Perth seems to be going off at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, it's always going off, mate. They're fucking mad. Like,
Yeah.
there's some mad acts over there.
Well,
I love it.
Wolfie's the king of Perth
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
and he was mad here.
Yeah.
So, you know, says I heard someone was telling me, he said to them, "Oh man, I need to come east sometimes to get an audience to pull it in, because he goes, they won't pull me in."
Oh,
over
you can do
there."
what you want over there. It's great to
Really?
go over and do gigs, but yeah, you can do what you want. It's good, which, in a way, great. But a lot of them don't travel well. So they go straight to Melbourne and just start. Oh, it's good to watch.
It's funny how there's those different, like, it's the scenes sort of almost reflect a bit of the vibe of the city. in a
Yeah,
way,
yeah, it's good.
which is it's.
I mean, it
nice.
might change over time. I think there's some things that crept into the Sydney scene that pull you in a bit. Depends where you are, but he's a pretty good sort of compromise, I reckon,
Yeah.
between up north and Melbourne.
So
Half.
when do you start? Because when do you start? So you do a new show every year for the festivals. When does that writing process start? Now you've basically finished this.
Yeah, just
festival
finishing
run.
now. We're just mopping up the scraps next 2 weekends, and then start July.
So
That's
back
right.
in because there is a period I reckon around sort of March, February, March, there's a chance that if I pop into any given room, there's maybe a 50% chance you're in there working on something.
Oh, I've sort of extended that out. Now that I'm not building, I'd sort of August through to December, and then February, March, every night somewhere, just trying to get it right. 'Cause I don't want to embarrass myself. Like, it's embarrassing having shit bits in your show. I fucking hate it, and I know it happens.
You're not not everyone subscribes to that theory.
Oh, clearly. But just for my own peace of mind, if I've got a sort of flat few minutes in the show, I know it's coming up and I dread it. So I try to get it right.
I've had that a couple of times where I'm like, and this year I just had more than I needed for the time, so I just dropped it. I just went, no, those bits
Drop
aren't.
some bits, yeah.
They're not
What a luxury.
ready. I haven't worked them out yet. They're not coming in this show.
Yeah, I sort of...
Worst case scenario, I'll ask a guy. I'll do a bit of do a tiny bit of crowd work to get into the next bit if I need to.
Yeah.
Which I probably have that luxury that you don't sort of do that
No,
as much.
but I mean, you do shoot yourself in the foot if you set a precedent that you're actually trying to get laughs, not, agreement or tears or something. Then you're fucked. You've got to have a punchline every opportunity.
Yeah.
And then when you don't, if there's a minute of silence, it feels like a fucking lifetime. Sometimes can't come back from that. They don't forgive you.
That's where I've that one thing I think now that I look at, the guys that are very comfortable taking time, which I don't. I'm
never-
like you. I'm like, man, if it's a minute without,
I think I'm
punchline.
doing something wrong.
Yeah,
And I am doing something wrong. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think a mixture of them is just so confident or been in the game a long time, very good presence, all that, and maybe a bit of laziness because I've written half the words, so just spread it out.
half the words.
Repeat it. Repeat yourself. You know, I don't know. Big run up.
Yeah,
That sort of thing. But if the crowd likes you, if you're popular, you get away with an awful lot.
my thing is, if I take a big run up, then the pop at the end has to be
Yeah.
like really, and I'm never that confident in the big run up. Like, and that, I think I get that thing where this is taking a while to get to. This better be good, and then I start to lose this isn't going to be good enough.
Yeah.
And then I think it's like animals, man. They smell fear.
Oh, they do. They can't articulate it,
No.
but they know. There's something subconsciously audiences know when you're fucked up. Or
Yeah.
I can stumble on a word and it takes 10 minutes to get their confidence back. Like if you want to get it all right, and you have been, they'll go, oh, no.
Well, you're in particular. It's such a precise wording. All your stuff. How long does that take? Like just
Fucking 8 months. Like
it's just repeating.
Yeah, it's about 10,000 words. It takes me 8 months to try and get it right.
What's the because I got this thing where I don't have to be as precise in my stuff, probably out of laziness more than anything. But
Well, it's also I'm not trading on likability or anything, so that makes it harder as well.
yeah, yours is very well. Yeah, you're not trading on it, but I wouldn't say that there's not a likability.
There is for people who know what the deal is. I'm not getting any new people out of it. Like I don't know. It's a weird. That's just perseverance, I think.
Yeah.
Like 5-6 years ago, no one knew who I was, and I was still the same act. And it's gotten a little easier the more people who come, but it's still not. I'm not a likable act, and I don't care. But it should be. I don't know.
It's not what you're going for.
No, not at all. But I don't know. It does have to be all right.
Yeah.
Or I'm fucked. And you've got to. And if you're going anywhere near an edge, you've got to get the words right too.
Yes.
Which is where open micing can be excruciating. In the first stages of getting a new bit together, you're like, oh man, I'm going to say some horrible shit here.
Man, the only time I remember that bit you do about people who have birthdays on dates. I remember you coming to do that room that Tommy and I were running for a while in Glebe.
Yeah.
And I think that was new at that stage, and you caught yourself off guard with one of the lines.
Yeah.
And that's the only time I've seen you actually laughing.
Oh, yeah, right.
And you just that's a bit much, isn't it?
It was horrible. I probably the audience must have laughed if I was laughing. I'm not going to laugh if they had.
But it was it was one of those shock and then pop laughs, like where they were like, "Fuck, did he just say that?"
Yeah. Oh,
it was great. That was a good bit. I love that bit. That was but that's that's interesting because I find like because you write everything out like a monologue style.
Yeah.
Do you? Which this is something interesting. I was only thinking about this today. Is you are like very amongst comedians. Comedians love you, love your style, but there's
to my face they do.
Yeah, no. Well, to my face they do. I had a guy in New Zealand on last weekend tell me that you look like a bigger Heggie.
Oh, right.
I'm like, I'm not. No. He
What
goes,
about
no, just like more buff. I'm like, no, say fat. You know, I know what you're saying. Like you don't have to. Sugarcoat. He was pretty stoned, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But it was.
I don't think we look alike.
No, I don't think we look alike at all. It's just like, oh no, you're another guy, another white
just
guy
another
in his
fucking
40s.
white. Yeah.
Yeah. Who doesn't shave?
Me
clean.
barely, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, far out. That is surprising. Like, I wouldn't have picked you as. I remember the first time because how old are you now?
48.
Yeah, 48. I remember the first time you told me your age. I was like, "Fuck, you don't look 48 at all."
No.
I mean, there's something to be said for writing to every gig and.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I sort of one day I'll just snap, go grey, fat, bald, whatever. I don't know. You can only hold it off for so long. I don't know. It's nothing I'm doing.
No. Well, I don't know. Like you're pretty active, I suppose.
Well, yeah.
There is that. And then
I don't eat when I don't have to. That's all. Well, you still be thin and fucking old though. So.
Yeah, plenty of people. I know. It's just, I think there'd be people that would be shocked to know. But the point I was making was this because people will often, like younger comics especially, like rave about how good, like, oh, Luke Heggie, he's so good. It's so, but then there's the thing that surprises me is there's usually with guys that younger comics like or newer comics like.
Yeah.
There's usually some imitation that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
Yeah,
I can't think of anyone that off the top of my head that
I've seen a few. They come and go.
Yeah,
it's not easy. I don't know. There's a lot of young Sam Campbells out there.
That's
a lot of young Aaron
I mean.
Chens out there.
Yeah.
Whoever's sort of around a lot. That's just imitate for a while.
Yeah,
but then you can't imitate a 48-year-old disgruntled fucking dad if you're 20. Like, it's good luck.
Yeah.
Plus, it's hard. I think they discovered it's difficult. Being me, I've got no one to compare it to, but I haven't found it that easy,
mate.
So
one of my favourite things is watching, and it's probably just a thing when an audience don't get on board.
That's what
with
Cody
you.
says. It's his favourite thing. Stand at the back and watching me die in the arse.
Because it's from our point of view, it's objectively good.
Well, yeah.
It's going over their heads.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, it happens all the time. It happened last weekend. It's excruciating. There's material you've written and worked out and, gone to festivals with, it's gone well and everything. You just go, these people hate this. Well, that's life, isn't it? That's how it works.
Sometimes I don't think it's even that they hate it. They just aren't really sure what's going on. Like I've seen you in front of some audiences that probably would be not. Well, I don't know if they're too drunk or they're not thinking. They're just not there to actually.
Yeah, they're not thinkers.
Think, which you require listening to.
Yeah, you require listening to. I wouldn't call myself cerebral or anything. I don't try to.
No.
Don't try to act smart. I'm just fucking doing stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, people. It is a bit much for some people.
It's dense though.
Well,
there's lots of punchlines.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like I think sometimes, people just.
Often I'll have one. Like if I'm doing an hour show, I'll have something in the first minute or two. That's kind of a test. And if they don't get that, I think, oh, I'm fucked. Like that's it. Like, and if they do, you go, oh, this would be a good night.
How hard? Because I'm probably the difference between you and me in a lot of ways in our approaches is I'm more down that people pleaser type thing. Like if it's not working in the first, then okay, let's find a different gear. Let's see if we can get this across. Whereas you just
don't have another gear.
Yeah,
they're getting this.
You're like the fixie,
pretty much. Like, fine, this is what you're getting. I can't change it. Not at this late hour. I'm not going back to the drawing board and writing in some crowd work or some fucking laughing at myself or sitting down or whatever we're going to do. This is what you're getting.
I'm not a sitter, all right? Don't accuse me of that.
Yeah, righto. What are you doing right now?
Yeah, well, not on stage, mate. Yeah.
But that is I particularly like the young philosophers who sit down.
Yeah.
They're the best. Like, okay, if you're 70 or something, whatever.
Remember Dave Pollard?
No.
He used to go to the mic in hand. He was about 1,000 at the time.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know
real
his name.
old bloke.
Yeah. He'd get up and do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they had to help him up and down the stairs.
Yeah, right.
Let him sit.
What did he do? Did he have filthy material? Was he Yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah. Same set each time?
Yep, pretty much.
Brilliant.
About his carer and stuff. And
yeah, right. That's starting up again.
Yeah.
I'm on a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think I'm on end of July, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Get to the friend in hand, everyone, while we're doing plugs. Monday nights, starting probably around this week when this comes out. Or whenever this comes out.
Be close.
Yeah.
I think this will be coming out Monday because I've been falling behind with a bunch of these.
That's what happens to me. Like we get like 8 ahead, or 5 ahead or something. Oh, this is sick. We'll just stay 5 ahead forever. Nah.
No. Yeah,
just chip away. Let's have a week off. All right.
That's amazing. As soon as I've got them in the bank, I'm like, well, I don't have to think about that for a bit.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
people say life's hard. It's easy.
Yeah.
It'll get you.
Oh, mate. It's like when you get a bit that works, like the first time you do it, it works. And then you walk away going, jeez, comedy's easy.
Nah.
I don't know. And then the next 3 times, it just doesn't.
So I've never got, I've always had the second time's always been worse than the first time for a new bit. Every time. And this is, again, an audience thing. Imperceptibly, they can tell if it's new and fresh and all that. And then the second time, you just fuck it up or do it exactly the same. I don't know. And they're not, you're not excited about it or I don't know what's happened.
Yeah,
or you're reticent. You go, is it that good?
Yeah.
Is it as good as last week? Of course it's not.
They sniffed it out.
Yeah.
Do you record your sets?
When I'm starting a new material, every time. And it's excruciating listening to it.
No.
It's terrible, but it does work. I hate listening back, but I do.
Yeah.
Like on the way home or something, I'll listen back.
See, I'll
Write something down.
I'll listen to occasionally. What I used to do, especially, is on the way to a gig. If I'd known I'd had a good gig there or a good gig recently, that I'll do that similarly set.
Yeah.
I'll listen to the good gig, and it was just to remind myself that I can do comedy.
Yeah.
Because you know
how you did it.
Yeah.
What, would you listen to one that you're going to do that material again?
Similar material,
Yeah, right.
Just to go, okay, that's how I got from that to that. Because often it's the mechanics between the
For sure.
jokes that's the bit you worry about more.
Yeah.
Like, if I know what the punchline is, it's like, okay, well, how do I start that topic? How do I get into that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you realise, sometimes you just
I don't
start
think. I mean,
talking
I love talking shop, but there's so much fucking work behind it, and people don't realise that. And why should they? Like, it's supposed to look like it's easy.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
then people take that even further and come up after and go, "Man, I enjoyed that, but if I was thinking of bringing some friends tomorrow night, will it be the same?" Yeah, fuckhead. I'm not writing 10,000 words tomorrow during the day. It's the same.
And then learning it.
Yeah, I don't know what crosses their minds or how they think you're doing it.
No.
But I'm not autistic or anything. I haven't got a photographic memory. It's just work. You've got to keep doing it, keep thinking it, get it all right. It's fucking hard. But anyway, it's easier than actual work, isn't it?
It is. That's what everyone, like, you know, that's what I often say to people, how's that? I was like, it's just better than working.
Yeah.
Like,
I like the fact that people are scared of microphones. Like the greater public. They're all scared of that. So
yeah, because we all know
leaves us
funnier
to it.
people than us. Who,
For sure. I'm not even the
weren't.
funniest guy on my street or my family. Like, it's, you know,
Yeah.
I'm the only one with the balls to touch a mic, though. So sucked in.
Yeah, go to work, idiot.
Yeah.
That's So what would you be doing if not this, you reckon?
I don't know. I've
you've
always been a
bounced around a lot,
drifter.
haven't
Yeah, I was just drifted around job to job, and I don't know. I only started labouring when I started comedy because it was a flexible job that I could take a week off here and there. Or I've had a boss that 10-year period who's been brilliant, true patron of the arts. Who, you know, I just say, mate, I'm going for 3 weeks to Melbourne. Yeah, righto. Like, you know, most people would sack you for that.
Yeah.
Or I get a late gig, I've got to go to Brisbane, you know, Friday, so I'm not in, that sort of thing. But in return, I'd work hard and turn up when I was in Sydney. But if you haven't got that, you're fucked doing stand-up. And a supportive spouse as well. Like, you got to have that.
That's
So I see
massive.
those, mostly blokes whose wives hate what they do. Can be the other way around, but often it's that way. And I think, how do you do it? How do you go home and your wife just hates that you've been out? She hates that you're trying to do this because you're a loser. I couldn't have that. I couldn't do that.
No. I'm lucky in that my wife's, for the most part, doesn't stay up particularly late at any given night.
Right.
And likes to watch TV that I'm not particularly interested in. And,
Sick.
and then I ruin when I am there. So,
Yeah, okay. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's a result.
That's what, even when the kids were little, everyone used to, I remember people going, how do you do this? You got little kids, how do you? I'm like, they go to bed at 7:30.
Yeah.
My wife's going to bed at 9, but watching some show I'm not interested in. Like, after about 7:30, no one gave a shit if I was in the house or not.
You could not exist.
I'd spent the time with them.
You could nearly do it, just say I'm going to bed early and climb out a window. No one would even know. Just get back in by about 10:30. Whatever.
It's what a double life to lead.
Proper moonlight. Yeah. You're good.
Of all the double lives to lead, that'd have to be the saddest. Like,
Oh, it's pretty sad, isn't it?
you've been sneaking out. Have you been cheating?
Yeah.
Nah, it's even worse. It
Way
is
worse.
Way worse.
What a loser.
This is more humiliating.
Yeah. I get, because people, like most people in my life, a lot of them now are comedians, but pre that, like, a lot of them are still normal people, civilians, and you get invited places. And my wife's been great, but they're like, oh, why don't you take Saturday night off? We'll go out to dinner. You go, why don't you take fucking Wednesday afternoon off? We'll go out for lunch. What do you mean? This is when I've got to work.
That's the that's the thing I think that the only time it frustrates my wife is she actually said to me this the other day. She goes, "Yeah, like I had a look in the calendar. You haven't got a Saturday off until October." Like, yeah, that's just.
But then, I mean, your kids are roughly my kid's age, a bit younger maybe, but there's only another 5 or well, now my wife comes out with me. We can go out for the night and home by midnight, and they're fine. But it'll be more and more as they get older. They won't even want us there. So
No.
she can come touring with me, whatever. It'd be fun. But then I can't take weekends off. It's where you make money.
That's exactly right. And that's the thing. Like, people go, "Oh, okay, you know, can you put this in the calendar early? You know, let us know plenty early." And it's like, yep, yeah, happy to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
But for every little event, like, you're starting to add up that you're costing. This is costing me a lot of money. Like, because it's not like I take a day's leave and get leave pay. It is that's money I don't earn, which is hard to
gig economists. Oh, hard work, mate.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we've probably got Uber shifts coming up soon.
Yeah, righto. Yeah, I've got to get on my bike and go.
Yeah. Mate, thanks for coming and doing this.
Oh, thanks for having me.
No worries at all. Before we go, though, where can people find you online? Plug whatever you want to plug.
I don't know. LukeHeggie.com for my
Mate,
web.
you're a promo person's dream, aren't you?
Yeah, just whatever.
Your publicist
just look up
must
my
love
name,
you.
you'll find me. I don't care. I'm going to France soon.
Oh, really?
So I'll be away for a little while. I'm coming back in August, and then I'll be gigging every night pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just visiting.
Just go out to a live gig in Sydney. You'll probably see me.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And it'll be fucking grim August through December. So, bad news.
You'll see me at the back of the room really enjoying it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Now, France, visiting?
Yeah, just having a holiday.
You're going to do any shows? Because you speak French.
Yes, I'm doing I mean, in case the ATO's listening, I am doing a show in France. It's a big one that I need to pay off my plane ticket that I bought on the business card. Taking a milk crate and I'm standing on the street doing 5 minutes of stand-up.
Have you done stand-up in French? Because you speak French.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's like just because of the structure of.
Well, there's that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that good at French, but I did work really hard for a couple of weeks. I just studied and wrote the jokes out of mine, like got them right, and if they weren't too Australianized or anything. But yeah, the French have it. Mate, this is probably 5 or 6 years ago. The French, they've moved on a bit with stand up. They're still doing this shit. They're not really a big stand-up country.
It's still loving Jerry Lewis falling over.
Yeah, they don't have the same humour. It's not even the same language problem. It's the same humour as us. Not many do, really.
No.
So it's sort of... I mean, America's hard too for me. But, France was not successful at all.
Which is why you're going back on this business trip.
Yeah, I'm going on the business trip. I've got to keep working at it.
Mate, that's it. Like ATO, he does not give up.
No.
There'll be plenty of these business trips, I'll tell you. Yeah, and he'll probably just stay with his in-laws sometimes. But when he's not, business.
It's all business.
Yes. Mate, thanks so much for doing that. Give Luke a follow if you are online. He doesn't give a shit if you do or not, but it's worth it.
Not my business.
Cheers,
All right,
mate.